This episode of Beyond the Closing is brought to you by First United Land Transfer.
Hello everyone, George Lair here with First United Land Transfer. Wanted to actually give a nice warm welcome to a really good friend and entrepreneur and a person who's actually going to be making it big here in the Lehigh Valley, Mr. Jason Peters.
Thank you for that. Crossing my fingers.
No, Jason, listen, with your personality and your drive, you're going to do a great job. You know, it's not only that you are both an investor in New York City. You know, you bring your New York City flair, your style, your, the way that you dress, the way that you carry yourself. Mm-hmm. Now you're bringing that to Pennsylvania as you are now bringing both commercial real estate experience and residential real estate experience in your new career.
Yes, I'm really trying to make a mark here in Pennsylvania. Lehigh Valley. Coming from New York City, where everything is a hustle and bustle, and a new change of environment, and get into the real estate game is a big transition from what I used to do in New York City.
But is it really? Because you've been in some form of sales for basically your entire life.
Well, let me tell you, man, everything in life is sales.
True.
And
then you know a lot about real estate. You're a very handy person. Yeah. First and foremost, you and your family have actually invested in New York City and done your own project.
Yes.
But let's rewind, man. May I? Can I dig in? Can I go a little deep?
Don't dig too far.
So you, like a lot of us that come from different countries, came to the United States at a very young age.
Yes.
You were actually born outside of the country.
You're
from Trinidad.
Yep.
And you came to New York City at a very young age of, was it 14?
No, 11.
11,
yeah.
Okay. And you, pretty much like myself and some other friends that I have, lived in a small apartment in New York City with your family.
I won't say it's small. It's like a shoebox of apartment, yeah.
Very humble beginnings.
Yes.
With your humble beginnings, you started your own business in New York, but you actually have an electrical mechanical engineering degree.
Yeah. So
that's impressive.
The reason why I got into that electromechanical engineering, because my dad, at a young age, I used to go from job to job with him as a child back in Trinidad and Tobago. He used to go from each client's businesses and fix equipments and fix machines. I was always there with him. He took me with him all the time. I used to watch him, observe him, do his thing all the time. And, it kind of propelled me to want to continue that, even though we kind of separated for quite some time since my mom brought me here to the U.S. Okay. I always had him in the back of my mind of what kind of career I want to do. And he was so impressionable. Everyone seemed to love him. Everyone, like you, knew who he was. So I wanted to be that kind of person too as well. So I went to school at New York City Tech in downtown Brooklyn.
Nice.
Got my degree for 2 years. Worked at a elevator company, Otis. Everyone knows Otis company.
Of course.
A few of my friends got injured, and it kind of led me to a different path.
Makes sense.
Everyone used to ask me questions about, how can you work in a job where everyone gets a lot of injuries, and how could you, be so focused on your job when things around you is going, excuse me 1 second.
No worries. Listen, that's a great thing.
You know what it is, right? It's,
business.
The fiance
never stops.
And the fiance as well. Check it out for me, probably.
I like it.
And after school, it was just like, I don't know, something changed, something clicked. Like I wanted to try something different.
So what did change, other than the fact that you saw a couple of friends get injured? That's
because I was always good with my hands. Right? Everyone needs to get injured or something hurt, and I kind of understand, kind of like what to approach, how to approach them, and what to change or make them feel a little better.
Okay.
And everyone's telling me you should go to school for health and science, or become a doctor or a nurse or a massage therapist. So,
That's what he did.
I was like, okay, let me try it out. So I went to the School of Health and Science in New York City, the Swedish Institute. Got my degree for massage therapy, And whilst I was in school, I went to Hunter at the same time. So I
Wow.
went to both schools full time, nighttime and day.
Wow.
And I got my degree for physical therapy
So
as
I'm
well.
talking about your determination, man. Continue.
So I was doing massage therapy a day, physical therapy at night. I got both degrees. I think they go hand in hand.
Right.
And I think the word of mouth just started to spread. Every client I approach, every ailments that came to me, anything that came about, I kind of understand what goes on because I think my electromechanical background of how things work
Right.
and how the body works is a huge machine. And I was like, okay, I kind of figured things out pretty quickly. And doctors started to recommend. Anyway, it's a long story.
No, it's a great story. Continue, please.
The referral system just can keep building and building and building, and then it led me to kind of create my own company called Skillful Touch.
Now, a little bit about that company. You didn't just stop at massage therapy.
No,
you went
no.
all
I,
out.
It was funny. I started losing my hair. I was a really chubby guy, and I was.
No kidding.
Yeah, I was like heavy. I was like maybe 275, 285. I was at
Okay.
300 pounds one time. And with that career of massage therapy and physical therapy, I was like, I don't want to be growing up being fat and bald and all that kind of stuff. And I got into personal training. I met some.
How old were you when you got into personal training?
Boy, I wasn't a personal trainer myself, but I got into personal training as something I wanted to do to get myself healthy.
Right. Right, and it
And-
shows.
And I met quite a few guys that really know the body very well. I was very meticulous. I wanted someone to know and understand what the body does and how things work.
Right.
And me knowing how the body works with itself, if you don't say the right thing to me, I'm not going to approach you or ask you any questions. I like to learn from people that I meet. And those guys were just like on point, they told me how to do certain things I'd never seen or never heard of and got myself in shape. So I created a company behind those people. They was like, hey, you want to do personal training for some of my clients? And they was like, yeah, you want to help out my clients? I was like, yeah, sure, why not? And the collaboration just kind of clicked. It kind of came hand in hand. So, and then I met a chef,
Nice.
and he was a friend of mine for a long, long time, but I didn't really know he cooked the way he cooked. I went to his restaurant. I was like, oh, you have a restaurant? I went to his place where he worked in hotels. He cooked food for them too in hotels. I was like, and he invited me to these things, and I started eating his food. I was like, my man, your food tastes really, really good.
And it was healthy.
And yeah, it was very healthy too as well. And it was and he was Trinidadian. I was like, yes. So it very clicked pretty quickly. And we all collaborated. So we started creating a company where we could go to people's homes, and the chef will show up first, start his meal preps.
Right.
Then the personal trainer go while the food's being prepped and train the client. The client will get trained, and right after they get their ass kicked, excuse my language,
Of course.
they get the recovery. So if you want to train hard, you got to recover smart. That was the biggest motto. And then the word of mouth again. And this client told another client, my trainer right now is training a couple of doctors in the city who is top-notch doctors. They're training a couple of artists as well. We train in a lot of athletes as well in Jersey and New York City. I can't say the names.
No, of course, I understand that
But
completely.
yeah, they're a very high-end clientele that refer the clients to us. And it just kept rolling in. And now I took the opportunity after I met my fiance, who's been an agent for almost a decade. Her business is from word of mouth as well. And I see how she approaches people, and everyone loves her. She's very straightforward. She understands her clients. She's an immigrant as well, and she speaks both languages. She goes above and beyond a normal agent. Most agents, when I meet someone for the first time, I get them in the house. Thank you so much. That's it. Bye. Once in a while, a client will call, and they're like, hey, we finished. What are you calling me for? But my fiance, she gets these calls, and she's like, oh, you have a leak in your basement? Let me call this person. I know someone. I'll come over there myself and take a picture and send it to this guy I know.
That's
so
impressive.
I kind of took her lead and understand where she's coming from, and it kind of driven me to do the same thing for my clients.
So you're not just selling homes, you're building relationships.
That's what it's all
You're
about.
growing your business. I mean, I've met your fiance many years back when I was a lender.
Right.
And I remember the one thing about her was that she actually helped her clients from beginning to end, gathering everything that they needed.
Exactly.
So when she came to me as a real estate agent to a lender, she had her client with her. She came to the meeting, and the client had everything that they needed.
Right. Right.
I was mind blown.
So the thing about her that I want to implement in myself, in my approach, is establishing organic relationships.
Yeah, well, you guys are great at that.
And also taking a client from point A to point B, but not from point B all the way to point Z as well. When a client comes in, that client is your referral system. That client is your friend in some way. I see her go to people's houses. We go to houses together. Have these events with these clients, and we sit down and talk and chat about not about real estate per se, but anything else in life, and then it grows from there. So for me, getting into commercial and residential real estate, I kind of want to approach everything the same way.
And that's the thing about you, man. You like to do things big. I love that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Because
yeah.
a lot of people actually start in residential real estate.
Yeah, I know.
And
Everyone's telling me I'm crazy,
You're like, you know what? I'm going to start in commercial real estate. I want to do things different. And you do both, of course. But I guess you being a New York City guy,
right.
coming into the small town compared to New York City, and your connections to people that you know, what they're looking for, automatically kind of led you, I'm assuming.
So the thing is about commercial real estate, it's a slow process.
Yes.
Right? And with my business in New York City, allows me to go to New York, handle my clients. I'm very client-centered. I want to make sure I target each client, address their needs, but also give them the time to feel like they're the only client. If I was doing everything like residential, commercial, rental properties, my time will be all over the place and I will be very scattered.
Right.
I want to have time management to a point where every client feel like they're just that one individual client.
Right.
Like you are my friend, but I want you to feel like you're my only friend. And everyone else who as well. Because if I was all over the place, a client call me and I say, "Give me 1 second," or I say, "I'm gonna call you back tomorrow." That's a potential for you to lose that person or the client because you're not giving them the attention they need. And everyone loves attention, Even though some people say they don't, everyone wants attention and want to feel like they're the only one.
They want attention in some sort of way, whether you actually are...
But also genuine.
Right.
I want to make sure they feel like I'm genuinely giving you my attention.
Of course.
I'll give you the time that you need.
That you care.
I care, exactly.
Of course.
And
sometimes that feels like a lost art.
yes.
Right? And sometimes I see it where, often some people are treated like numbers. Now, I don't mean that in this industry in specific, but when you go out sometimes, you might actually either go to a restaurant or go somewhere, and you see that waiter or waitress, and they come to you, and they really show that they care.
Right.
And they go to other places and don't see anyone for a while.
You take it from personal experience.
Of course.
I take everything like personal experience.
And that's a beautiful thing. And that's what it sounds like you're doing, is actually building those personal experiences here in the Valley with what you're doing, and still able to actually go back to what you do in the city and continue to do that. I don't know how you do the time management thing, but you do a great job at it. I notice how everything is scheduled for you, your workout regimens, and you never skip a day that I'm aware of since I've known you.
I skip days, but
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 you make up for it.
like I said, time management. I mean, you have to thrive at what you're doing and also feel confident that what you're doing will be a success towards the end. When you wake up in the morning, first thing, what's the first thing on your mind? If I didn't have my calendar on my phone or something to look at or a vision board, then you kind of will miss those times or skip things that you felt at the end of the day. You're like, oh, damn, I missed that. I never want to feel that way, especially when I deal with people. when I wake up in the morning, like the first thing on my calendar is like, have 2 eggs, have a piece of avocado, get some nutrients in your body, to feel energized for your day.
Really?
And
That's impressive.
all right, kiss my wife. Yes, it's on there.
No, that's beautiful, man.
Because you want her to feel like she's being neglected, right?
Of course.
And when you have a busy lifestyle, everyone feels neglected.
So you're having toast before you kiss your wife.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. But she probably still sleeping. She gets up. She's on the phone. She's a realtor as well. She does her thing. She wakes up earlier than I do, and she really gets going in the morning. I mean, she'll look at the emails from the day before and send things out. I look at my phone, and in the morning time, I'll do the same thing for some clients, schedule things. But the process is always key to make sure everything goes smoothly for your day. Schedule your time to go to the gym. Schedule your time for your clients when you need to call them, and if you didn't have that kind of calendar or schedule or vision board or something planned out for your day, like I said, we all have those moments when you wake up in the morning, you're like, oh man, I won't do shit today, man.
I get that.
I am exhausted, but you think about the people who depends on you, the people who require you to contact them, the people who have a lifestyle other than your own, to make their day feel better or make their day continue, So those type of things back up my head make me continue to like wake up, do what I need to do, get those things out of the way. Then you have the time for yourself.
How long have you been doing this, scheduling? And I'm going to ask you that, and then I'm going to ask you about vision board, because you've mentioned that twice already.
Scheduling since I was like maybe 19, 18.
I thought so.
Because when I was in massage therapy school and going to physical therapy school, working as well, I probably slept maybe 3-4 hours a day.
Wow.
I went to school in the morning, school at night, had a security job after hours.
No kidding.
My job was started at midnight. The next guy come at like 6 a.m. in the morning. And then at 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, I had to be back in school again. So I look pleasant now, but trust me, you saw me back then, you wouldn't be in my face at all. Bloodshot eyes. I'm a giant too as well. I'm a tall guy. I'm 6'4". So, people see me, they're like, oh, God, with that face. I don't want to talk to you right now. Have a nice day. But it was the determination that I had, because I had an idea. I want to make sure that idea is executed in some way, in some form. And when I'm here now in Allentown, in Pennsylvania, I have that same vision. It's going to take me quite some time to get the same process and same kind of functionality with this business, but I have a good support system. I have good people around me, like yourself,
Thanks, Jason.
My fiance, this office too as well, When I come here, I feel very, very welcome when I come here,
That's because you are.
I never had like an issue when I come here and we'd be like, oh, I want to see this guy.
No, man, you like a ray of sunshine, man. You're always so warming and delightful, and it's always great to see you and be around you. It's not, you're a very positive person.
When I'm 43 years old, I want to look young for a long time.
Yes.
If you have negativity and you have to have positivity, it plays off and shows on your face. You sort of wrinkle faster. And we all have stressful days, but when I go somewhere, you have to be able to switch it off. Those people have nothing to do with you.
Truth.
If you have a bad day or a headache, we as realtors, we deal with people like that constantly on a day-to-day basis. When they have stress, they have tension, they have headaches. We don't know what it is about. They may lash out at you, and you're like, what happened? But listen, lash out. Let me be your backbone. Whatever you need, I'll be your shoulder. Curse at me. Go ahead and let me know what's up. Because I know it's not about me. But I keep that smile on my face. I talk to them. I stick to the agenda, what is planned. I show them their property. We talk about what they need to get their property, or sell. And at the end of the day, what will happen? The smile, right? The smile, because
and I can attest to that. You've been there for me.
Everything has been executed the way it should. And no matter how stressful your day is, if you continue to be positive yourself, that person who has a bad day and express that day throughout their face will always have a smile on their face at the end of the day. And that's what I feel like I want to continue to do. And again, I want to change the game here too as well.
I love that. And speaking of changing the game, Vision boards. I mean, that's a huge, huge game changer.
You know.
I've done it, and I'll be honest, it actually does work.
Yeah.
I try to get my daughter to do it. I have visualized my life, and of course, at times, kind of drop off, and you neglect what's on your vision board. But you've mentioned that a couple of times, and I've seen your life, and I see how you worked hard, and you work hard, but you also enjoy life to the fullest. And I'm assuming that has to do with your vision board.
My vision board is a little different than some, I think.
Okay. Share a little bit about that. Do you mind?
Yeah, of course. A lot of people have a blank board and then put pictures and then put what they want to have in life, like cars or houses or gardens or, these pretty fluff things.
Okay.
And it's good to have that.
Of course.
Have that vision. You want to, manifest your future, to have those nice things. Mine's like a calendar. It has a Monday through Friday. I have a virtual on my phone, and I have a physical one hanging either in my closet somewhere that only I could see, and because it's my vision board.
Right.
I don't want to misconstrue or have someone look at my board, if in my own family, be like, I could do that. Everyone has their own personal, things they want to do.
Of course.
So my calendar starts off like, I want to hit this goal by this date.
Okay.
And how I'm going to get to that goal from this date. Like my car, for instance, right? I got my car, I wanted that car for a long time. How could I make the money to buy this car without having this huge amount of debt?
Right.
How much I need to make without impacting my day-to-day life. So I created a way where I could set up like a automatic transfer a certain amount of funds by selling this much houses or seeing this many clients and how much money I need to put into the account. And it's funny because there's always hiccups in the road when you have these kind of vision boards, right? But again, when you stick to the plan of how you will achieve those goals, by any means necessary, I don't want to say too much, but any means necessary, you definitely will achieve that goal, But you have to have the mindset where there are no distractions. Your board is your only distraction, right? There's a lot of people coming into your life. You meet people every single day, and those people will distract you left and right. Hey, let's go out to the club tomorrow. Let's go out this way. I go to the club. We get a table. How much money are you spending on the club?
Quite a bit.
On bottles, right? You got I want to go on vacation. The amount of money you're spending on bottles in a club, that could be the price of my vacation, And that's the kind of mindset that I like to have sometimes. If I could afford it, fine. If I can't, and it's affecting my end goal, I won't do it.
That's great advice.
Like we go to a club. You've been with me, like my birthdays and those type of things.
Of course.
Man, we spend like $3,000-$4,000 and for like it's not so many people. $3,000-$4,000 could be a trip for two, resort, rental car, or even like a small down payment for a future home or an investment property. After I created that plan to get these investment properties or buy this car or do what, and everything is set up, then we'll think about going out. You have to have your priorities straight.
I like that. Now say that one more time.
Which part?
You have to have your priorities straight.
You have to have your priorities straight.
Absolutely.
Not everyone could afford certain things that a lot of lavish people may have.
So you work your way to
that stage where I can afford this lavish.
So work
things.
As hard as you possibly can to get exactly where you need to go.
Yeah, you work hard, you think hard, and you play smart.
Play smart.
Yeah.
Boom.
Playing smart is the key.
Yes.
You get caught up. You go out.
And that's easy to do. Mm-hmm. I'm guilty of that, unfortunately.
We all are very guilty of that. No one's a straight and narrow type of person.
Right.
And we all get caught up, depending on the situation, who's around you, But I'm telling you, that's why I have that virtual board on my phone. Like, all these notifications you hear in my watch sometimes and stuff like that. Even though I'm missing some things, but it's an important meeting we have right now. So I know I have to be here. It's in my calendar.
And you don't operate on Caribbean time like most of us. You said to me, I'll be there at 9:30, and it's 9:30, maybe like 9:29.
I know I'm a clown sometimes. So George, for this meeting, right? He was like, "Yo, Jay, let's start at 9:00, 8:30." I looked at George, was like, "Are you kidding, man? I'm on black people time." You know what I mean? So you mean 9:30 at night or 8 o'clock at night? And I see George in his face, he's getting a little attention. Like, why this guy can't wake up in the morning to come sit down with me and have this conversation? And I'm like, but I'm looking at you, I'm like, I got you where I want you. Okay, good. I'm gonna surprise you too as well, right? I'll text you first thing this morning. I'll see you in a couple of hours. 8 a.m. A couple of hours, it's like 10 a.m. Right? So I know, okay, he's looking at me like, damn, this guy gonna get here 10 o'clock, he get here late. Oh my God, you know what I mean? Then I text you again. I was like, hey, I'll see you in a few minutes. I'll see you at 9:30. So I knew in your head, you'll be smiling, you'll be happy as hell. I want to change the way you felt this morning, change the way you felt last night. You send me a photo on my phone with you smiling. It's like, good guy, right?
Here, man.
Right?
Here.
I was like, but that's what it's all about. So you change the perspective on the people you meet in your life. That's very important, right? So, so any small changes, anything you can do to change someone's perspective, to make them smile or be happy in some way, some form, just do it. It's going to benefit them, yourself too as well. You get a kick, you get a laugh. You poke here and there, but make sure it's always a positive end to it, right?
It's always a positive thing.
And that's my goal with you too as well. I want to get you to that place like, this damn guy. You know what I mean? But I knew at the end you'd be laughing your ass off. You like this guy, because I know your personality. You have that voice like you should be an anchor on TV.
Too funny.
So I want to hear that voice all the time, and I just want to make everything a smooth transition. Meet the right people.
And you do that, man. I notice that whenever you walk into a room, you always... I'm
tall. People look at me like, that's a tall guy.
You're always the light of that room, though. You always got a smile on your face. You always... your presence demands people's attention, right? It's, hey, you know what, I'm here, but you're just very genuine when people get to know you. People like you. When people meet you, they gravitate towards you. And I love that, man. I think that you are going to do an amazing job like you have in your personal businesses that you've started and have grown and have carried. You're going to do that same great job in both commercial real estate and residential real estate here in Pennsylvania, obviously, because you do well in New York.
Thank you.
Man, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of where you're going. I'm proud of where your head is at. And I'm thankful for the friendship that we have, for the things that I've learned from you, for
Same here.
The positivity, try to look at the bright side of everything, both negative and positive. Always try to take the good away from the bad, and not focus on the things that we can't control, which you do well and you do often.
Those things we can't control shouldn't be carrying on in your day-to-day. At the end of the day, yes, we have those moments, we have bad days, but you meet people who rub you the wrong way or make you feel negative or make you want to right? But when I go home to my house, I see my fiance, see the kids, my TV, those small things that make me smile, I'm not going to see that person again.
Wow.
If they're a negative person, more than likely you're not going to see them again, because they probably feel the same way about you for some way or for some reason, right? But they're not going to impact who I am, how I live my life, how I approach other people. And they will go home thinking about the conversation they had for whoever they met in a negative way, and they're going to impact their own personal life. They're going to create stresses on themselves. But that has nothing to do with me or anyone else for that matter, who is positive. Anyway.
And I love that. Surrounding yourself with positive people always. And kind of acknowledging the negative people, but not really sticking around it long enough to actually get that negativity come.
The funny thing is, like, dealing with Carmen, my fiance, we meet several negative people a week, I would say, but those negative people want to be happy too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I believe
The
that.
reason why they're negative because they're fighting for what will make them happy. They want to fight for what they feel is correct and right. You know what I'm saying? And it depends of how you as a person is, you know, especially a Carmen, you know, your approach will make the biggest difference. You know, someone come here, blah, 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 blah. Oh, I'm so sorry. You know, I don't mean to make you feel a kind of way. What I can do to make you feel better? What can I change to make you feel like you've been, I don't know, accommodated in some way? You know, and you'll start seeing them go blah 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 blah.
It diffuses them.
You know, it diffuses the situation, right? And you know, then they look at you a whole different light, and then the client all of a sudden that blah 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 person will be like blah 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 to their friends, blah 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 to another person. Oh, I refer this person to you because this person, like, he knows how to handle himself under pressure, you know. And you take a negative and you go, oh, let's transfer that negativity to a positive situation based on your approach, you know. And a negative person never wants to be negative. I don't know anyone who walks out of their house and be like, I'll be a negative person today. I'm going to the world, right? And again, it depends who they meet or how your approach is to that person to make them feel like you're the one they want to work with, you know.
I love that.
Yeah.
And I see that. I see that in you. I see the way that you act with people. Same thing with Carmen, your fiance, right? You know, you both, when you walk into a room, you just shine with positivity.
It was funny. We talk about this quite some time, and we feel like we never really fit in. You know,
Why do you say that?
I don't know what it is. You know, it's like I think because when I met Carmen, you know, she's very humble.
She is.
Right.
That's
Yeah, she's very humble, and
so are you, though, in many ways.
I kind of took her from that. I felt.
Yeah?
I think I allow her to adopt the New York approach to certain things because New York City is always hustle and bustle. You got to move like this. You know, you can't have no time to sit or relax or walk in a room with important people and stay in a corner.
Right.
And when I came to Allentown, we went to quite a few events. And in the morning time, she would get dressed. I'm like, you know, I'm wearing that. You know, babe, you know, we were professionals. We got to dress the part. You know, and then we go to her room, and she turns around. I am nowhere to be found. She's like, where did you go? And then she looks for me. I'm in the middle of the room talking to, like, Don Cunningham or the mayors or all those people, like, shaking their hands and laughing and drinking a cocktail. It's like, how do you get the guy to have it? I'm like, I have no idea, right? And changing the approach from her, seeing me do those type of things and walk into a room and just, you know, be present. I don't want to be invisible in the room. I want to be present all the time so people understand who I am, what I'm about. You know, granted, I'm tall as hell. You know.
But you have a great personality.
Yeah, I want to remember who I am.
Right. Not only do you have a great personality, you're very well versed. You're well educated.
I'm a Caribbean guy. I talk fast. I know. Just
you know a lot about many little things, right? And you were able to actually have a conversation with just about anyone. I mean, I've introduced you to several attorneys. I've introduced you to engineers and other fields. I've introduced you to, and you know, that bond that you automatically make, and you're able to actually capture their attention in a big crowd. Right. It's and you do that well, and you do that often. Which
you know what it is?
Great.
It's like personal experience.
Yeah.
You know, I hated that feeling growing up. You know, you come from a country where everyone speaks like they sing, you know, because you talk very fast. And I still do that sometimes. I still mumble because I go around my own people and I can't get away from it, right? And, you know, I was always the one people don't want to approach. You know, I'll be in a corner somewhere and I want to say hi to people, but I was too nervous because of how I spoke and because of my accent, you know, and people will look at me, I'm having a conversation with them, and I'm thinking to myself, do they understand what I'm saying? Do they really understand what I'm saying? I do, but do they? Because of my, I won't say a language barrier, but the different tone or the different dialects or the, you know, the accent and the mumbles and speaking too fast, and do they actually understand what I'm saying? and but I had to shake it off. I had to keep trying and trying and trying. So I moved from the wall to maybe a little closer to the center. You know what I mean? Maybe to the cocktail table or to the free food, whatever event I'll go to, until one day this guy came to me. He was what was he? He was a motivational speaker. And he started talking to me, and he was like, wow, man, you have a great accent. I was like, do I? I was like, it's very different for everyone in the room. I was like, I know. And then he was like, use that towards your advantage.
Yes.
Use that as a conversational opener. I was like, what do you mean? He was like, you meet someone, they sound intelligent, right? They speak very, intellectual, and they have a wide range of vocabulary. And even though you don't, start off and be like, hi, I'm Jason. I was like, okay, then what? Then what am I going to say? It's like, just to say, hey, do you understand what I'm saying to you? I was like, you want me to come out and say that? He was like, yeah, just start off saying, hey, do you understand what I'm saying to you? Because I have an accent, and I apologize if you don't understand me, and I repeat myself again so you will understand.
Wow.
Right? I was like, really? Right? All right. So he took me around a room, and I tried it with a few people, and he stood back there and just watched me. I'm getting emotional because this guy was a big thing in my life. And yeah.
It's beautiful, man. That's actually a great story for many of us that are out there who might actually have that fear of approaching people. I understand that. I appreciate that. And I understand the emotions.
Yeah. Fear of having those conversations that could lead to bigger things will impact how you grow, So
There are times where I feel nervous approaching people.
Right.
To this very day. And people don't see that being in front of a camera to me is not always easy. It's actually uncomfortable, and my hands get sweaty. For you to actually share that,
you're doing pretty well now, huh?
It's who you surround yourself with in practice. Because I would never look at you and think, man, Jason doesn't actually like being in front of people, or Jason feels uncomfortable being in front of people.
Yeah, a lot of those things I don't tell anyone. I think you're the first person.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Not even Carmen,
Yeah. But the fact that you could actually, that this will touch others. This will get other people to at least reach down deep and say, hey,
what I found is like
I can do this.
People who have, or let's say who get discouraged by personal or derogatory, or I don't know, like things that will impact they are perceived would not do certain things to help them achieve.
Yes.
Right? I typically, those people who becomes like, I don't know, they grow faster than some.
Wow.
Right? So look at the immigrants, right?
Yeah.
Or some clients who are in Allentown, the Spanish or Dominican, I don't know, culture.
Right.
You see how half these people don't speak English at all.
Yeah.
Right? But for somehow, they have more businesses than people who've been here for the longest time.
You're not kidding.
Right? Because they found a way. Right? They either reach out to people who are diverse in English and Spanish, or, funny, Dominicans are the most creative and intelligent and business savvy people I've met since being here in Pennsylvania, in Allentown. Because I look at these beautiful people and I'm like, how the hell they have the supermarket, the cleaners, own restaurants and buildings, houses, and they continue to grow without speaking English, where it's required in this country to get things done. You would think
they take advantage of this being the land of opportunity.
Right? No, it's because they learned to not allow those things, but being a ethnic group to impact them from growth, right? When I had that fear of speaking or even verbalizing certain things because of my language, I allowed it to impact me. And when I allow those weaknesses to become strengths and use it towards my advantage, because I find that people will judge or look at you and like, I could take advantage of this guy. Maybe he don't understand what I'm saying to me because I'm a well-educated man or a well-educated person. Maybe he don't understand exactly what's going on, right? But in the mind of a entrepreneur or someone who wants growth, they'll look at that person and be like, oh, he thinks he's smarter than me, right? And they would work harder and do more to prove that person wrong, right? And all of a sudden, yes, I have a business. Yes, I own homes. Oh, now you're working for me. Now you need me to build your business. You know I have the clientele. You know I want to continue to buy. You know I want to continue to grow. And you want to continue to represent me because you're smarter than me. But you're still working for me. You're still in the same position. You're still sitting there trying to help me out, right? Because you need me to make money. If I don't use you, where are you?
Truth.
Right? And the most intelligent people are immigrants in this country because they work harder and they fight for what they want. You know, not to say there are not people out there who are, you know, good people, American speaking, English speaking people that don't grow, but there are those people who they're out there that will judge and not allow someone to grow because of they'll take advantage of that person's fear of themselves. And then when you take out all that fear and you focus on what you want, have a vision board, have a calendar, write down what you want, manifest what you want, you know, do whatever necessary, meet the right people like yourself, come to the office, walk into a room, admit a room and talk to everyone, and you change the perspective of those people of who you are, they're more than likely to help you. You know, you carry yourself a certain way, you dress a certain way, you know, it makes a big difference, you know, and those people will look at you differently. They want to help you, even though you have nothing going on for yourself. They'll look at you different from the way you dress, the way you speak, the way you carry yourself, the way you have that mindset of not let things impact you. You know, you fight yourself first before you fight your demons, you fight your fears first before you go out in the world. And once you do that, I mean, anything is, you know, is there for you. It's an endless world of opportunity out there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
And you are you're a poster child of that. You, at one point, lived in a, as you called it, a shoebox.
Yeah.
Right. And right now, you have worked extremely hard and have been extremely focused and extremely driven to get to, at 43, be where you are today.
And going back, my focus here in Allentown has really become a people's realtor. You know, I want to be similar to what my fiance does, you know, but I want to grow as a family, you know, grow the strength amongst not only myself and my fiance, but everyone around me as well.
Yeah.
You know, the clients I will meet, you know, I will constantly remind them, don't just stop here. You know, you got here. Was it that hard? How can I get you to the next step? You know, if it's commercial, residential, whichever it may be, you know, a home, yes, it's a home, but it's just a stepping stone, you know, to become a mansion, you know, to become an office, to become an entrepreneur, a business owner, you know, what other avenues can I guide you to? And I think my approach here in real estate here in Allentown is do just that, you know, see beyond what the typical person will see. You know, everyone has an end goal. Yes, I want to be a homeowner. I want to have a family. I want to have kids. And then, are you still with the 9 to 5 job? Right? What can your growth, entering this home and having a family, can lead you to? You know, your family becomes your business. You know, you could have a business right in your home where your kids help you. You know, and if your dog can help you out, you know, so
No,
you know,
for sure.
you take a walk with your dog somewhere. Don't just stop walking the dog. You speak to every dog owner that you meet. You pass by and walk, you know, and figure out what they're doing and maybe you're not doing. There could be some kind of guidance somewhere. You just have to know how to look for it. You know, and I think I'm very fortunate. You know, I don't know what it is. You know, you mentioned a few things to me as well. I don't necessarily see it that way, I guess. You know, but thanks for pointing those things out. You know, you make me feel like, okay, maybe I head in the right direction. You know,
I believe you.
But I don't see any stop in my game. You know, and everyone I meet around me, I want to make sure they don't see that either. There's no stop. You know, we gotta figure something out. You came to me a long time ago by doing like what was it, the car, the lift, was Turo
Yes.
a while back, started
Yes,
a business, you know. We explored that a little bit and you know, and but I like people who see the bigger picture.
Right.
What other avenues of revenue can come from this small idea? And I want every client I have, any commercial client, any residential client, not to see the smaller picture. Think big and look big, and I want to be that agent to guide them to that point. You know, that's what I mean by doing something different. You know, my fiance, after the deal is closed, you know, months down the line, she still have conversations with all those clients she has.
That's a lot.
You know, help them with whatever. The kids from getting to school sometimes. We've sat there and we put together letters, you know what I mean, to like recommend these clients to get to the I don't know, to like a Y or something like that because they can speak a certain language or, you know, English. Like, hey, I want my kids to join this camp, but I don't know what to say to help them join this camp. Oh, I'll help you out.
Wow.
You know, that's the approach we have. So we're carrying that over to the clients I will meet. You know, I don't see anything stopping us from expanding or going above and beyond what normal realtors do. And I think that will make us stand out the most. You know, everything never stops. Yeah.
Jason, thank you. Thank you for being here with me today. Thank you for your friendship.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for the times that we've hung out together. And like I said, man, I do appreciate you. I admired you. I look up to you in so many ways. Thank you for how positive you are. And, you know, a lot to be thankful for your parents who have actually made you who you are today, your family, your friends, your
That's
upbringing.
a whole different story there, boy.
So,
thank you.
I look forward to getting to know you throughout the years and, you know, growing old and, you know, having you around, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Beyond the Closing. Appreciate having you here. And Jason, once again, thank you so much for your time.
No, thank you. It was fun.
Thank
It
you.
was definitely fun.
Yeah. Hope you've gotten a lot out of this, just like I have.
No, I have. Yeah.